What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chad Arms, a.k.a. Chat D by B. Lim30.
Hello, my name is Tony, a.k.a. Friday the 14th.
And I'm hot mic champ.
Get it out.
Slap the tables.
I'm not trying to follow none of those. I'm Brandon E. What's
Yeah,
up?
he's back again. Back again.
Brandon E. Shout out to BJ the DJ. Wedding season is here.
In
and
full
he is
effect.
he's busier a tick on a two-peter puppy during this time of year.
Who would have thought a DJ being busy during wedding season?
I know, dude. Shout out to BJ. We're gonna be having him back on here soon.
Yep. Big wrestling episode with him.
No, for sure, man. But
Yeah.
before we get started, man, this is episode 60, okay?
That's insane. It's crazy to think about.
And there are two people that I thought about when I thought of episode 60. One of them is the Brick of Sha Ferguson.
Wow.
One of the biggest flops in ever.
If you're watching this, the Brick of Sha. What's up, dude?
What college? What college did he come from?
Who cares?
Doesn't matter.
He played for the New York Jets.
I thought it was Vol State.
Probably.
Speaking of failed gimmicks, and the second number 60 that this episode is going to be modeled after is none other than your boy, Chad Arms. Check out those baseball cleats. Shout out to McGregor and not Connor.
Pee-wee Chad Arms.
That's a junior pro Chad Bob. That's Chad Rowe right there.
Yeah.
dude.
Shout out the
It is.
McGregor cleats on the feet.
Dude, shout out.
With the flaps.
With the flappity doo.
That's what we've been talking about. That you showed that picture earlier today when we were discussing stuff, and I had similar. I think Nike even had cleats with the flaps back in the day. But what did the flap? What was the purpose of the flap? Your shoestrings came up through the flap, and then you tied your
Dude,
shoes
my
on top
shoestrings
of it.
always came out of the flap. I had to run them back
time.
through. I hated it.
It served no purpose. I don't understand.
failed.
that.
And I wouldn't-
Gimmicks episode? What?
Yeah, shout out to Flappy, whatever they call them, flap over cleats. I
Yeah,
don't know.
Flap
it made no
jacks.
sense.
Yeah,
but
flap
episode
jacks.
60.
Yeah, it's wild, y'all.
Dude,
60 of them things, man. Sponsored by your boys, Trouble Spirits, Revolution One Media,
And the
whole
Gagwall
gang.
Wrestlers.
You got the Natural Disasters and Jimmy Hart, both Mean Genes, Flying Brian, Sanchez Turner, Sting, and Mr. Meat Sauce. Shout out to Virgil, R.I. to the P.
Just good
man.
stuff. Good stuff, man.
So, episode 21,
Yes.
we did a worst gimmicks episode.
Yeah, just
right?
like the absolute worst of the worst gimmick-wise that came, in our opinion. But Brandon was not on that episode.
No, that's early on. When
Yeah,
we
the
started
BJ
we'd only been
was-
doing wrestling
yeah.
for like 5 episodes.
Yeah, BJ was on that episode with us. I mean, we covered some bad stuff. I mean, like Bastion Booger gimmick bad is what we.
God, he was so gross. to
Yeah,
watch
he was
him,
so
dude.
bad, disgusting.
But this one is going to be like, let's talk failed wrestling gimmicks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So if y'all want to kind of describe to the people what we're fixing to get into with this.
I think Chance has a great
I think
description of
It's
this.
basically like gimmicks that had potential but just didn't live up to their potential.
And maybe
or,
wrestlers that had
or,
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were better in their time.
Yeah.
Just that particular gimmick
Didn't work.
Or you said like some storylines too
Yeah.
that were
Couple of
gimmick
them
that just looking at the storyline, it looked promising and then just fell flat on its face.
Arse.
Or
No.
arse,
Well,
like chocolate.
I mean, dark chocolate, dude. Shout out to that clip. Oh my God, Tony had a stroke. He's back with us again this week.
Back, I'm okay.
But man, we'll just get right into it. Who wants to go first, man?
I would like to throw out Terror Rising.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Known as now.
Triple H, the game.
Yeah.
Paul Levesque.
Yep.
WCW Saturday night, right?
Yes,
there.
dude. That haircut of his, that Farrah Fawcett haircut he had going on.
Dude,
you
them
know?
locks, them Goldie locks.
Looking like an extra on a Mentos commercial.
Yeah. It was pretty much the same gimmick as Hunter Hearst Helmsley, but
Yeah.
Just a terrible name.
Terror
WCW budget,
Rising,
which,
just-
I
yep.
mean,
Yeah,
what year was that? Was that 92, 93-ish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he team with was it Regal or Bobby Eaton?
No, he did it with the what was it like the
Blue Bloods?
Yeah, I believe you're right on that one.
Oh,
with
Regal. Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to the movie or the show Blue Bloods.
But was that in WWF or was that in WCW?
WCW.
Was it WCW?
Shout out
Okay.
to the Regal Beagle. Shout out to Jack Tripper. Yeah.
Yep.
But
shout out Jack
yeah.
Tripper.
I mean, and then to find out what he turned into when
But he turned out okay.
yeah,
He did all right for himself, I think. Now he's running WWE, and we're actually getting a little bit of
Blood.
a little
Hey, we're getting some
blood. No, that's right. Shout out to the game. One blood. One blood.
But one that stands out to me was probably one of the most overhyped, especially for WCW. I think they went on like a 6-month promo package for Glacier is coming soon. Get ready for the winter. The winter is coming.
They were clearly though expired.
Dude, it
Expired
failed
by
after the
Mortal
first
Kombat.
promo.
No,
I think
100%.
it fell flat after because they were going for that Mortal Kombat.
They
look.
did because they had 3
It was
of them.
96.
Wrath, Mortis, and Glacier.
Yeah, Glacier came out first, and then Chris Canyon was Mortis, correct?
Yeah, I don't remember which one.
I don't know who Wrath was.
I remember on Dark Side with Chris Canyon's episode, they talk about Glacier in that one. Don't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, because he was
was
Mortis.
Yeah,
Because
he was
the
Mortis.
whole packaging was kind of cool. You was like, "Where is this going?" You could clearly tell it was Mortal Kombat related.
Yeah.
But he was doing all the the karate stuff. All
Yeah.
that, and then he just came out as the fake snow and the flat top.
It fell hard.
Yeah.
But
He
I
was,
think
he was a dope wrestler, though.
He was
like- and
great
did,
wrestler.
did he have any other gimmicks besides Glacier, or did that kill
he just pretty much killed because I think he
think he did
one thing that I
something
saw
else
he
minor.
sold like all the gear to Ernest the Cat. Was it?
Miller, Ernest Cat Miller.
Yeah. He sold all that gear to him because he was like, I'm done with
Shout
it.
out to her.
I want to rant on him, but I actually like him.
What about Norman Smiley?
Oh, come on.
I would hate on Norman Smiley, but he's a big time agent right now.
No,
Yeah.
he is.
He's
Yeah.
a lot of the wrestlers. Bailey, a lot of them people
Yeah.
were trained by Norman Smiley. The character was pretty bad.
Same with
but it
Matt
was
Bloom.
funny.
I mean, all of Matt Bloom's characters. What was it?
Prince
He's one-
Albert.
Lord Tensai.
Yeah, I had 10 on my list.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that hairy back son of a bitch, dude.
But he shaved everything off and came back with all the tattoos.
A-Train.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
A-Train.
Lord Tensai was bad.
He had a dope finisher, though.
Yeah.
It was like
He's a
it was like
dope
a driver.
It was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly he's still training too.
Lord
Yeah.
Tensai was terrible.
Oh
though.
yeah, I mean,
Nice
but they
one.
put a bunch of hype into that one.
Nice one. I'm gonna rewind it just for a second.
Get
Throw
him.
it to me.
You very first when you were talking about terrorizing.
Mm-hmm.
That was like Scott Hall and Kevin Nash's like favorite gimmick. They said they used to watch it in their hotel rooms, and they're like, "I want to hang out with this kid. Like that's cool. Like they like the terrorizing gimmick. So
Yep.
they kind of like, we need this guy in WWE."
Yeah, dude. I remember was it like the Click documentary or something?
They talk about terrorizing on
Yeah.
there. So that was like a failed gimmick, but clearly people seen something.
Well, yeah,
in
the
it.
promise there.
Yeah, that's right. Him, and then of course, relating to what he was saying, if you talk about failed gimmicks, I mean, how many did Kevin Nash have in WCW?
Well, I've got a couple of them in WC. The Diamond Stud and Vinny Vegas. Both.
Yeah. Well, and
Scott
the
Hall.
Oz, bro.
Yeah.
Oz was horrible.
Well, Oz, I put Oz in worse gimmicks.
Yeah, well,
Vinny
you can
Vegas
group
had.
it in,
You
yeah.
could see some Vinny Vegas promise in
sure.
Vinny Vegas and the Diamond Stud because they're not.
For sure.
They're not the Oz from Wizard of Oz and everything.
I fucked with Vinny Vegas.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I
that's
like-
what I'm saying.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it failed in
I
WCW.
don't have this on my list, but just kind of piggybacking off this conversation, Diamond Dallas Page's original Diamond Dallas Page gimmick was similar to theirs. It just did not work. It felt
yeah.
flat.
With the-
But
yeah.
somehow he spruced it up, and as the years went on, that gimmick got better.
He turned it into a real person
Correct.
character, and everything where the fans could relate to
Correct.
Diamond Dallas Page.
Absolutely.
because
So
he
kudos
was
to him.
always slept on. He was the everyday. He was. I compare like not Stone Cold in WWF, but he was just the everyday guy that just went to work. That people just jumped on the bandwagon.
Yeah,
on.
for sure.
And he was a hell of a worker.
Absolutely. He came in later too. I always thought that was cool. He wasn't one like.
But
came
I
in
like
when
the
he was-
Diamond Stud in WCW. It just didn't get over in WCW.
It's weird because I like the Diamond Stud more now than I did when I was younger. Like when I went back
Yeah.
and watched wrestling as an
But
adult.
you can see the
That
razor.
was Scott. That was
Ramon-
Scott Hall's character.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
can
Sure.
see the Razor Ramon, like the influence of the Diamond Stud being moved into Razor Ramon
Absolutely.
and everything. Just it's the mannerisms
Correct.
and all that.
Absolutely.
Both of them, I mean, body wise, they were it back in that day. I mean, those guys were studs.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah,
Literally.
for sure. For sure.
So
But
That's
yes,
a good call.
it was good to see Kevin Nash even when he went over to WWF. I mean, Diesel, the gimmick was,
Yeah.
it was,
but he was a bad son of a bitch. No, yeah, he was the
WWE.
coolest in that.
But he made it cool.
Yeah, Kevin Nash made it
The
work.
Kevin Nash made the Diesel character cool as hell.
Until he became just Kevin Nash with NWO and stuff. Everything he got thrown at him was, I mean, kind of just cornball.
Yeah.
It was just a bad
It just made it
time
work.
in the industry in general. There really wasn't many cool characters during that era.
Yeah.
No.
Everything had a theme to it.
It was a theme that shouldn't have. Brutal, my friends. Brutal.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and just hit you with one that still to this day pisses me off.
Mm-hmm.
Pisses me off. Does anybody remember Saba Simba?
That's Tony Atlas, right?
Yes. Mr. Olympia, Mr. Great, everything. Tony Atlas, tag team champions with Rocky Johnson, The Rock's dad.
Yeah.
The most racist. It's like Vince McMahon went home and watched Roots, and it said, "I got an idea. Let's dress Saba Simba.
Let's make him Toby. Let's not call him Toby.
Let's call him Saba Simba."
And poor nice ass beast of a human being, Tony Atlas was like, "Oh, okay, Mr. McMahon, I'll do it."
Of course, that's
I love Tony Atlas, bro. I love watching his interviews, and I remember going back and watching them old one random Royal Rumble, whether it was an 89, 90, or 91.
It was like 91,
And
92.
it was when McMahon was announcing all the people in it. He was like, Saba Simba.
I just remember like
is
seeing
this?
him for the first time. This is literally a kid, and I go, what the hell is this? I'm just like, that literally scarred me for life, y'all.
Yeah. That gimmick didn't last long, did it?
Hell no, it didn't last long. I mean,
It's amazing the stuff they got away with in WWE.
that one was the top of the food chain.
That
right
really is the
there.
most racist gimmick Vince McMahon ever did.
Yeah, that's
And that says a lot.
Yeah.
Because he just wasn't, I mean, it was like, say, it was all the Oriental people, it was African Americans,
Yeah.
it was the Italians. I mean, he was like
And
that.
then look at Tatanka, bro. Look how fucking shitty that was.
The only one that got away with that is Alberto Del Rio. He got a good gimmick.
Yeah. Which he was just the Spanish version of JBL.
JBL,
yeah, pretty much.
I thought
bingo.
the dude that was out there with him at first was really cool.
Oh,
The
Rodrigo?
announcer dude.
Yes.
Was it Rodrigo?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Good.
He ended up like getting over to the point where he wrestled a little bit, didn't he?
He was so
I don't.
dope.
I
few
wasn't
times,
I
but-
wasn't watching
Yeah.
wrestling
Yeah.
in that time period.
Oh, he was great, man.
Unfortunately,
That's
I
that
was.
2012
Yeah,
to
around that era.
2014
When
era.
Kofi Kingston was being profiled too.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Like, shut up. Like,
God, dude. Yeah. Saba Simba, dude.
That-
Horrible.
Good pull on
Yeah,
that one.
Ricardo
man.
Rodriguez.
yes, that was his name.
I said,
liked
what
him,
did I
man.
say? I said Rodrigo.
You
Close
close.
enough.
Close
Yeah,
enough.
same. Yeah.
Within an inch or so.
Yeah, dude. But the Saba Simba was terrible, man.
Oh.
I'll tell you another one that was terrible in WCW. Big Josh.
First name Big.
Yeah, I'll say one of the most unoriginal, opportunity, like trying to give a wrestler like a gimmick. I mean, just like let's just call him Big Josh, and he comes out in a goddamn flannel.
Big Josh is equivalent to everybody's Bubba in Cheatham County.
Yeah, that's all he was. He was just a good old boy, man, and whooped ass. But
Well, Big Josh and Bubba gonna go up there and
didn't
cut
get
some,
over
cut some wood log up, and we're gonna go have fire pit later.
bro, and then he ended up going on to be Doink, which ended up getting the fuck over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and R.I.P. to him, man. But
Yeah, I didn't realize he was that good of a wrestler because that original Doink could
dude.
go in the
Oh,
ring.
yeah.
oh, dude.
Yeah,
Well,
I
wasn't
had
it-
no idea it was Big
Wasn't
Josh.
he? He's a son of a wrestler, correct?
Yes, you are
wasn't
true.
his dad,
Yes,
like,
yes,
big
his
time
dad
wrestler and
for
stuff,
sure.
too?
What am I? Matt? What's his
Matt
name?
Bloom?
Yeah, Matt Bloom. That's it.
No, Matt
Matt
Bloom.
Bourne.
No,
Matt
Matt
Bourne.
Bourne. Matt Bloom is
Matt Bloom
your boy,
is
Lord Infamous.
Lord
Lord
Tensai.
Tensai. I was being silly. That's why I winked my eye right there.
Dude, shout out to Evan Bourne. Great high flyer.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Injuries what took him out, right?
Yeah, probably
was
took
so
one of the best
dope, bro.
RKOs too.
Yeah, he was dope.
That
He was dope.
Whoa.
moonsault
Yes.
RKO.
But yeah, Big Josh.
Yeah,
I only said Big Josh is because he ended up going on to be Doink, and it actually
Correct.
yeah.
was. I mean, he was a lot of other stuff, but those are the two that stick out the most.
I remember liking Big Josh. Like I said, I'm originally from Kentucky. He just looked like my friends
Good
I
old
hung
boy.
out
Yeah.
with.
Well, his Beyond the Dark Side of the Ring is
It was
It's
very
a-
good. That's one of my
it's
favorite
sad.
ones.
Yeah, it's sad, but
It's sad for sure. Absolutely.
You got one?
Well, we talked a lot about WCW wrestlers that went on to WWE and had success, but what about Barry Windham going to WWE and having a bunch of failed attempts at
he had more than the Widowmaker. Give me some more.
what
The
they
new
were the new
Blackjacks.
Blackjacks.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
That wasn't
Yeah,
no
his
good.
he never
Good.
did anything
No.
in WWE.
I had a Widowmaker card.
Ooh.
I was like, ooh, he's about to be a big thing. That's Barry Windham.
Yeah.
And then just like just went away. It's so true.
And he wasn't around. They didn't keep that gimmick long, and then they moved because that was like late '80s, early '90s, right? Or early
Early 90s.
Yeah, early 90s. Yeah.
when he came
And
back
the
to
Night
WC
Stalker.
Night
Night
Stalker?
Stalker.
Oh my!
Yep.
Hang on a second. Let me look up over there.
The Widowmaker.
Stalker.
What about the original Bray Wyatt, Waylon Mercy?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wow!
Yes, good call. He
Go
gives
back
a lot
and
of credit
back and look at those old promos.
ahead of his time.
Very, very Bray Wyatt-ish.
Oh yeah, he says that was the biggest one of the big influences on the character of Bray
Well,
Wyatt.
I didn't know that. That makes sense.
Yeah, he
for
said
sure.
it's a huge influence. I think Waylon, one of the props is named Mercy the Buzzard.
Oh,
It's named after Waylon Mercy
you
and
go.
everything.
Because I was watching it from the very beginning, just going, I know this character.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, I know this
yeah.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we go. I'm just looking at Barry Windham's names because obviously Blackjack Mulligan Jr., Yellow Dog.
That's original.
He was Imposter Sting
That's original.
in WCW. And he was Widowmaker, the Stalker, and then Blackjack.
But
Wyndham.
what era is that Widowmaker? Early 90s, like 90, 91?
It doesn't say the name, but it's got to be early '90s because the Stalker was shortly after that.
Yeah. The Stalker.
Yeah.
You cannot get more unoriginal.
Well, I'll bounce off that one too. Another Stalker, the Stalker DDP.
Oh, yeah. That was not
when
good.
When the invasion happened,
It was Taker's wife, right?
yeah, it was Taker's wife, and that was just terrible.
It's just you
Absolutely.
can't. Diamond Dallas Page is such a likable, cool ass son.
Yeah,
It-
sure.
It just didn't make sense him being that guy.
No.
But who else? I mean,
He buried all the WCW.
Oh, those WC.
people.
That whole invasion gimmick was a fail.
Because I went back and I looked at that at Buff Bagwell episode.
that's a crazy one too.
And I'm like, he was like, I didn't realize the match was that bad. It really wasn't that bad.
They just didn't want him to get over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I went back and watched that match.
Well, yeah, because I remember hearing about how bad that match was because Bruce Pritchard was talking about how terrible
Correct.
it was.
Same. Yeah.
And then they got rid of him after that. And I was like, I went back and watched it on the network. I was like, well, Ray, it
Seriously,
wasn't terrible.
The amount of money that could have been made.
Well, Booker's probably the only.
He's the only one.
He's the only one that out of that whole
Yeah.
WCW.
That hall, because so many of them were setting out for
Yeah.
contract situations.
Well, they were getting
but,
paid. Yeah, I don't.
But Buff Bagwell was there. The money could have been
I got a
there.
tag team for y'all.
Uh-oh.
Public Enemy when they came into the
I looked
WWF.
right at you. You
Which
said
generation WWF? Because they
Yeah.
were in ECW.
Well, they were tag.
They were
yeah,
great.
They
Yeah, they
were
were
tag
great
team
in
champions
ECW.
in ECW and WCW.
'Cause they come
And
from
as soon as
somewhere
they
else.
came over the WWF,
Yep.
Didn't they get in a fight with somebody?
the
Like,
Farouk and,
APA.
and Bradshaw.
They did that to everybody, man.
Yeah,
They were bullies.
I mean,
man.
Farouk and Bradshaw beat the fuck because they wouldn't sell.
like the Blue Meanie. too.
Yeah, but I mean, they were tag champs everywhere they went. But
It's another one of them things. It wasn't Vince's creation, bro. So he could just
facts.
How
make 'em
much
look like
sense
shit.
does that make to spend money
Just to
on
ruin some
talent?
bury
to come-
somebody.
It's like really weird.
That's how much money that dude was rolling.
I think
in.
I'm gonna say it right now, Mr. Man, you're a fucking pervert.
Yeah, it's true. It's
Like,
facts.
for real though, he's
Yeah,
a weird dude.
He
man.
it's looking back at it now, all
Yeah.
this stuff. It really
Yeah. I took up for him when I was a kid. When
of
people were
course,
like,
because he made all of our dreams come true with wrestling. I mean, it's real life superheroes.
you're a weird dude, man.
Yeah.
I guarantee,
I hope you're watching this.
Right.
Yeah.
I guarantee you who is behind Naked Midian. Definitely.
Oh,
In
guarantee,
more ways than one.
Naked Midian was awful.
Dude.
Midian in general was awesome.
There was a lot of. That's a great pull,
Yes,
Chance. No,
for
no
sure.
pun intended on that. That time frame, Attitude Era. You have a lot of dude. You have Naked Midian. You have the choppy PP stuff. You have the Mae Young giving birth to a hand. You had all this really bad stuff.
yeah.
In the midst of like all the best stuff ever in wrestling. So it was like the best and the worst. Then you had
that's a
people
really
like
good
Steve
point.
Blackman that were good like
Yeah.
in between.
Yeah, good
guys.
point. Very good point, right
But
there.
there was going back and watching Attitude Era stuff.
It's
I'm gonna be
tough.
honest.
It's tough.
If it's not Stone Cold related,
Yeah, it's
or new or DX related, it's not even
It's tough.
Well, even going back and watching that DX stuff back then, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
we liked it all for shock value reasons. Yeah. Because
But a lot of the stuff now, like hearing all this stuff about Vince now, all that stuff makes it. It's like, holy, But we were so young and naive back
And
then.
back then, dude, that's just not what you thought about when you looked at shit.
I
Same
had-
thing when
Yeah.
we watched the Nickelodeon documentary.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
those episodes were like, that was on the TV, and like we
had
watched
no
it as
idea.
kids, and we didn't even know it was bad.
Yeah.
I had no
We were
idea.
just like, oh, that's funny. She's
yeah.
pouring stuff all over her
Yeah,
face.
seriously.
I'm like,
Yeah.
watch it now. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah,
These dudes
yeah.
are perverts. Man.
It's bad.
Yeah, the Attitude Era, as much as it gets touted as the greatest era of like, it had a lot of shitty shit too, bro.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just it had the best shit that ever
Oh, yeah.
happened. So it you know what I mean? You was able to.
The top of the card carried everything.
But yeah,
else.
like going back and watching, because I went back and watched random pay-per-views from that time frame. WCW had way better wrestling.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Way better wrestling.
I agree.
Terrible storylines.
Just
terrible
Just from
storylines.
a mid card standpoint.
for
'cause
sure.
back then, the mid card in WCW was fire.
Oh, yeah.
They just didn't know what
it
the
really
fuck they were doing.
was. That's
Exactly.
facts right there.
Yeah.
For
You
sure.
had Eric Bischoff running the show.
Yeah.
Let him tell you he's the greatest thing ever, though.
No, yeah, he
Let
did.
Vince Russo tell you the same thing.
Yeah.
Hey, we got called out for quoting Vince Russo, though, didn't we, Chance?
We got called out.
Yeah. We had somebody said, "Oh, if you take Vince Russo, I mean, it's like he did have some good ideas."
Oh yeah, he had a lot of terrible shit, but
Yeah.
like he did. He
had
was
some-
part of some of the dopest shit.
Vince Russo, I'm gonna tell you just like I tell Vince, I think you fucking suck, bro.
Calling him out tonight.
Here's my.
I hate Vince Russo.
I'm not a fan of him, but I have to at least give him credit.
I like
for
big.
that.
I like Big Venom though. Yeah.
I'm Team Cornette all day. Me too, motherfucker. Yeah. I'm gonna piss on his grave. Fuck him, motherfucker.
I'm a Cornette fan, big time.
But yeah, dude.
Here, I got
Attitude Era-
another
go ahead,
one.
go ahead.
I got another one for you, a more recent one.
Uh-oh.
Curtis Axel with Paul Heyman as his mouthpiece and
Shoo,
failed.
shoo.
If you had Paul Heyman in your corner, it's hard to fail. And Kurt Hennig's son did it.
I'm gonna be honest. Curtis Axel failed every time, dude.
Yeah,
he
and-
just did.
Yeah.
Didn't get over
He
it.
just never had it, bro.
Yeah.
It sucked that he
Tough act
didn't.
to follow.
Yeah.
But like your dad is one of the most charismatic wrestlers to ever do it. So it's unfortunate that you're his son trying to wrestle.
Yeah.
He's never really recovered. I don't think he even has any desire.
But I mean, yeah, he did. Like when he came in, I hated him from jump because when he came in, he thought he was such a badass, and
Yeah.
nobody cared, dude.
I think,
Nobody.
too,
And
they
then he went
dropped
to
it.
comedy. They just started
Yeah,
going the
tried to be
parody
funny,
comedy
he wasn't
style.
funny either. I was like,
I think
And then
if they would have had him just being Hennig over Axel from the beginning, that at least would have helped
Yeah.
with the situation.
terrible name.
Yeah.
Too. Curtis Axel, terrible name.
Yeah.
But like, if you
Kurt
can't,
Hennig, Larry the Axe Hennig, I,
I mean,
get
yeah, he
it.
went by Larry the Axe Hennig.
Yeah.
It's like they were Hennings. Like, and everybody knew he was the son. It's
Called Curtis Hennig.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's all you had to do.
It just, yeah. It didn't make
And
any
and to
sense.
fail with Paul Heyman as your mouthpiece.
That's
it's-
true. That is true.
Because Paul Heyman don't put himself with just
He
anybody.
doesn't.
Yeah, they were probably like, Paul, we need you to, let's try to get Curtis over with this. And I mean,
Yeah.
that
failed.
is a really good fail.
That
gimmick,
was
though.
epic.
That was a good. That was a good. pull
Good,
there,
good
'cause I-
pull for sure.
He's definitely one, unfortunately, that you just forget about most of the
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
I had forgot about him, honestly.
What about Zeus? his 3 months coming off of
Yeah.
No Holds Barred.
Yeah.
Tiny Lister.
Yeah, man.
No, it just failed hard.
Yeah, Debo, you
You're not a
shit the
wrestler.
bed. You
As,
shit the bed,
as big
Debo.
as you were, you're just weren't a wrestler.
Debo shit the bed.
So did we? Definitely. R.I.P.
I think we may have brought Zeus up in the worst ones.
I can't remember if we brought this one up too. Around that same time frame, the whole Jay Leno and the whole David Arquette.
Did
we bring up
we didn't
David
bring it. I don't think we brought
I mean,
that.
I don't know if that's a failed gimmick, like
Yes, to put the strap-
storyline.
Yeah,
horrible.
yeah.
To
To put the strap on David Arquette. Yes, that's a failure.
and that was a Vince Russo thing, right?
yeah. And Vince Russo put the belt on himself too around then.
I'm almost about to say somebody. I don't know if y'all have mentioned it before. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but this is my least favorite. And it's not necessarily a failed gimmick just because he never had a gimmick that was ever good. Mm-hmm. But you clearly know who this gimmick was copying. The Renegade.
Oh yeah, yes,
Oh,
yeah.
dude.
It was a complete ripoff of the Warrior.
And the fact that you got to rip off somebody that had no talent in the first place, like we all loved him. So anybody's comment on it, he was my favorite wrestler in the '90s too.
But there was no talent there.
But the Renegade absolutely sucked ass.
Who else was he besides the Renegade?
I think it was so bad. I believe he's no longer with us.
No,
either.
he
Yeah.
unfortunately committed suicide. He did. He committed suicide like a couple years afterwards. But that gimmick, it's like not a person. I'm talking about the gimmick. The gimmick was horrible.
Yeah, it was just like, let's just blatantly rip off Ultimate Warrior and try to recreate it. And I mean, even when they brought Ultimate Warrior to WCW, you could throw that in.
Oh yeah, that's a fail. Yeah, that's a complete fail. Yeah, that's a colossal fail. Yeah,
the biggest fail ever maybe in wrestling, because think about when you bring Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior back over to WCW, and that build was awful. The whole mirror thing.
That also was the downfall of British Bulldog, because he fell on that trap.
Oh,
and that's what caused his back injuries.
Yep.
All that for the Ultimate Warrior.
That didn't give a shit about you anyway.
No.
Yeah.
Or anybody.
Well, I'll run one off of that off the Renegade. What about the Kiss Demon?
That was really bad.
When WCW signed that contract with Kiss, and he had every match that he had to be in had to be labeled as a main event bout.
Yeah.
And part of the contract, even if it was at the beginning
I
of
don't
it.
even remember I remember the Kiss thing.
It was Crush. I believe it was Crush that got in that outfit, but it was terrible. It didn't last
Speaking of
long.
Crush, another one, the Hawaiian Crush.
Oh yeah.
That's one of those as a kid I loved, and as I got older,
I love Demolition when they added him and they were able to like
rotate him,
switch him in and out.
Yeah,
And,
a Freebird
I
rule.
love that whole like one of them's hiding under the ring, and they had some dope ass matches in the '90s.
That was protecting
early
Axel
90s.
because he was getting older and his health was declining. So that's what the reason why they brought
But
him
yeah,
in.
when Hawaiian Crush,
I thought that was so cool.
as a baby face, it just
Yeah,
it
and then you
didn't.
had him and Macho Man fought at fucking WrestleMania 10, wasn't it, or 9 or something?
It was 10. 9 was him and Doink.
Him and Doink, yeah.
10 was that was bad.
Yeah. What do you got any other ones over there, Chance?
I got a couple of storylines that involve Vince McMahon.
Oh gosh,
I thought these were going on the right track, and then all of a sudden it just went off the rails. One is his death whenever he did
I was just
Yep.
Bro, that is insane that
because
they did that.
because of I was interested to see where they were going to go with that, but because
couldn't
of
go anywhere with
Benoit, they scratched it.
It off.
And then also Vince McMahon's son, which they were building. Which they were building for Mr. Kennedy.
Correct.
But I think something happened with him.
I think he got popped.
And then
Kennedy did?
and then I mean he's kind of like another failed gimmick.
Yeah, but that gimmick was good though.
Yeah, the gimmick was good, but
Yeah.
it just didn't reach its full potential because of
I was
that.
a fan. I was a fan of that though.
Yeah.
The small amount of time that I've watched LA Knight, he kind of gives me a Kennedy vibe.
Yeah.
I could see
Like his
that.
personality and the way he wrestles a little bit.
I could see that.
Didn't he
That's
start
a good
off in
comparison?
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
LA Knight start off in Impact?
Yep.
He did.
But
That's
yeah,
a really good comparison right there.
yeah, just kind of, I don't know, just the way he moves around and the way he cuts promos. I remember Kennedy, like Kennedy, like he had
He had that microphone thing.
Yeah.
it was
That
cool.
dope.
I thought Kennedy was cool, but like those Vince McMahon, like in that after. Here's the thing: post like Invasion, that 5 to 6 year period where Vince did the two you was talking about. Then the times that he was dropping the N-bomb on Monday Night Raw to people, and like the whole overly perverted making out with people, like
Creepy
Vince
dudes.
McMahon had so many bad storylines with
And
the
no one
family.
could say anything to
Yeah,
him.
who was
just
gonna
fired.
say- who was gonna say no to him?
Exactly.
Like
I'm the boss.
The whole
Exactly.
thing, and I love the final match at Mania and stuff, but the whole thing with his wife like being in a catatonic state and she's in the corner of the ring,
So stupid.
Yeah.
he's making out with people
With
with
Trish,
Trish in front of.
The
I'm
fact
like,
that he tried to have a storyline with his daughter is the grossest thing I've ever heard.
I don't even remember that one.
Yeah, he wanted to. She shut that down.
Well, they like
Google
wait,
it.
them get together.
Yeah, he wanted to have like kind of an ancestral storyline with her, and she shot that down. That is nasty. That is nasty.
It was me all along, Austin.
Vince McMahon's a piece of shit.
He's
bro.
he is a gross dude.
Yes,
In
he
so many
it's-
different ways.
Yeah.
Man, good call on the Vince McMahon stuff though, Chance.
Would the Ringmaster be considered a failed gimmick?
Very.
Absolutely.
Absolutely was.
I mean,
it never got over.
It never, and then, but it gave us
It gave us
for it failing. It gave
GOAT.
us one of the greatest runs ever.
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah. You could argue one of. I mean, to
I think
me,
it's the greatest run.
of
I
all
think
time.
so. I think it's the greatest
but
run
it,
ever.
you can say it's one of. You can compare the
Yeah.
Hogan or
Because if you got to really
Cena
break it
or whoever
down,
you want to break it down. Yeah,
Because it wasn't long. We really
Yeah.
don't think about that. How short
It wasn't.
that
Yeah, it was
was.
short. but-
97 to like 99. It was like 2.5 years.
But
bro.
man, it was so
It was the
fucking
biggest thing I've ever
fire,
seen.
dude. It's everybody talked everybody talked about wrestling then. Everybody.
Everybody.
I mean, the TV guy. Remember the TV guides that came out with like the
Him
5
and
different
Sable.
TV guides that came out?
It was
Dude, it was just TV guides. What a
shout out to TV guys.
golly.
Shout out! I'll never forget whenever it went from TV Guide to where you could turn a channel on your TV
And-
that you could sit and watch what was going on. You had to wait an hour.
Man, absolutely.
For it to scroll through all the
And
channels.
the free for all came on that.
Free for
channel.
all.
Yes!
Man. I used to always try to find the home shopping network when my main man was selling all those baseball and basketball cards.
Absolutely, dude.
I got another Vince McMahon failed gimmick though for you. The WWF New York restaurant.
Oh, yeah. That didn't last long.
3 years.
Was it 3 years?
Yeah, it was
Oh.
on Times Square.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was
Didn't they
on.
have some Shotgun Saturday Night
Yep,
episodes
and then
there?
they did tough. I think the first season of Tough Enough Trouts were there and everything.
Dang, WWE. Yeah, I forgot about that.
But it was like Planet Hollywood, like
yeah.
that time. But yeah,
I thought that was going to be like larger than life. Well, it kind of was when it first
yeah,
came out.
it was right there at the late '90s.
Yep.
When I think '98, '99 when they opened, and then
Just
3
didn't-
years later closed the doors.
That's wild.
There's
But
so-
another Vince McMahon failed.
Well,
Yeah.
he's-
You got any other ones you want to say?
Oh yeah,
WCW. Alex Wright
Okay.
was a solid.
Das
He had a
Wunderkind?
character called Berlin.
Yep.
Was that the evil Das Wunderkind?
Yes. Alex Wright, the character in general, looks like a reject from an Ace of Base video.
I saw the same.
I saw
Wearing
the
that
sign
leather
too,
jacket
and it
and
led
knee-
him to Berlin, and then he fell over the wall like the Shockmaster.
He had a unique little dance to him.
Dun.
Das Wunderkind, Alex
I
Wright.
like that character. I'm not gonna say it was good, and definitely is.
He was a hell.
to get
He
over.
could go.
Yeah, he was
a hell of a wrestler.
That-
But
that
man, those
Berlin-
gimmicks that they gave
look
him.
At, just look at him.
Oh, wow.
Look at him.
Yeah,
Fake
that's
ass
bad.
Corey Graves. Look at him.
Okay. Okay.
That's terrible.
Since y'all were Impact, it was one that I saw in my research. Y'all were Impact fans.
Oh, yeah.
What about 7?
Yep.
7 wasn't Impact though.
No. What? Okay. No. Dark Reign then is what I'm thinking
Yeah.
of when Dustin came to
Yeah.
Impact.
Dude,
And
Dustin Rose had so many failed gimmicks.
Because
Yeah.
7
was
bad.
in WCW when he walked out there and did the promo
Yeah.
and walked out of the ring.
That was bad.
That's the one I was thinking of was the Dark Reign.
Y'all are movie buffs bigger than me. I feel like he was copying a movie around that time, and it's on the tip of my tongue that y'all would know. I just can't think of it though.
Which one of the gimmicks you talking about?
7.
Looked like powder.
Yes.
it looked like powder.
That's what I was thinking of. It reminded me of Powder.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It sure did. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Powder.
But it was the Dark Reign.
Oh,
Dustin,
wow.
Yeah.
The Dark Reign.
100%.
Yes.
The Dark Reign. Dustin Rose. That was the heavier set Dustin,
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
it? And
Yeah, that was 10.
He was more like hard. He was doing more hardcore
Yeah.
matches. Him and Abyss.
God
Okay.
bless. I love him
Yeah.
though. Like no offense, Dustin.
I mean,
I love
but look,
you.
look how long he's been going.
He's still
Yeah.
going. He's like going right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's great.
He was having what was the tractor trailer match back in the day in WCW.
Oh my God! Yeah, it's him and your boy Smash.
No.
Yep.
Was it Barry
Barry
Darso?
Darso.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
driving down
my
the interstate,
God.
just
Shout out
having a
Dusty
match.
Rose booking, man. Boy,
And then they got fired right after the match.
Fired
for-
100%.
immediately after that match.
100%.
Son, I gotta fire you, son.
You got to go, boy.
The last one I'll say, but it's not a match. It's like a match. WCW. What was the name? What was that match they had where everybody's in a junkyard and you couldn't see shit? Everybody was fighting.
Oh
You
gosh,
know what I'm talking about?
Oh.
Like a junkyard brawl type thing, and it was
It
like.
was like in a yeah, like
And dude, it was like you saw like the helicopter was trying to shine light, but all these wrestlers just beating each other up. And
Ah,
pitch
yeah, I
black.
know what you're talking about.
about.
I was. It kind of. I popped on that a little bit, but I can't. I can't think of what it is.
Was it?
though.
I think it was called. Was it Collateral Damage or WCW Junkyard Invitational?
Maybe I don't know. It was I just remember it was.
the match you're talking about.
Yeah,
though.
WCW Junkyard Invitational match is what it's called.
Lord
Yeah,
have
dude,
mercy.
I remember it was. That was
Lord
when
have
WCW was just throwing. What was it? Does it say when it was? I'm thinking like '99. That's what I feel like the time frame or
Terrible
2000.
booking.
But it was like, dude, everybody's just beating the shit out of each other, and you couldn't even see it.
Yeah,
It was
I
all
recall
dark.
it. Yeah, that was bad. Would the Lex Express be a failed gimmick?
Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Even though it's like
Yeah, 1999 was
it's
the jump.
it's
That's what
kind
I
of
felt like.
it's kind of subjective because it never had a loss
Yeah.
and it went for about a year and he didn't lose. He just didn't win.
Yeah.
I think it was failed because of what they put in it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
I
could've
think
been.
all for every. I mean, you had the bus traveling across the nation.
I just don't understand
Yeah.
why they didn't finish the story.
I don't either because
You know?
well, I don't know if y'all have watched the A&E biography on Lex Luger, but they go into detail about that whole thing, and it shows, bro, like how much bitching and complaining he did.
Oh, he wasn't feeling it.
No, he was like he didn't want to talk
coming right
to
off the
fans.
narcissist, the whole narcissist role.
Which I
and
love that character.
They talk about it like he just didn't want it to. I mean, he didn't.
He didn't have the personality.
No,
to do
dude,
that.
he's following Hogan.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way you can.
Because I mean, I've been seeing like Cody Rhodes is the example of like the Universal. You see him like with so many kids and doing
Correct.
extra stuff with like kids and all that kind of stuff, and
Think about that though. Like
Lex wanted no part of that part of it.
he
That's what I was trying to
signed a big deal
get. Went flat.
to not be a wrestler. He signed to do the WBF bodybuilding thing, and then got in a horrible bike accident and messed up his elbow. And you think about that kind of stuff, though, as the older we get, think about your actual body. And think about if you're, like, on this bus every day,
Yeah.
grueling it out, you're probably really hurt because it wasn't that removed from your motorcycle accident. I'd be a little grouchy.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
You know?
Plus, and then after that, when he
them
went
strapping the
down the
rocket.
downhill,
And he was kind of a jerk
drugs.
anyway, which he knows he was. So you add all that together, and you're right. I'm sitting here talking it out right now, wondering why they
Get you
it
thinking.
failed.
Yeah.
But there was also a lot of jerks at that time that got they allowed over, and he had the look.
No, for sure. No,
know.
he just.
It's all about kayfabe back then, though, too.
Yeah.
He had to be a people person to be the baby face.
And
He had
it
to
also said they, not on the biography, but on like the Bruce Pritchard something wrestle with. They said that he was like in like bars and stuff around that time, saying I'm getting ready to be the next champion, like telling like random people,
of
like,
course, yeah, like-
and like at the time he had to
Breaking
protect,
kayfabe, yeah.
So I think he was definitely clearly booked to be over,
Yeah.
to go over in that match, and all the stuff we're
All
probably
the stuff
talking
happened, yeah.
about. Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's
Any
all.
other ones?
I say this with all due respect to this person.
Okay, is this your hot
Seriously,
take?
yeah.
Okay.
But
Yes.
I think I wouldn't call this a failed gimmick. I would just say it's a gimmick that wasn't able to reach its full potential just because of circumstances. But compared to the success that they had in the past, I would say this was a failure for them, and that's Bray Wyatt's Fiend character. I don't, and with the Uncle Howdy stuff and all that, I don't think that I don't think that it was a bad gimmick. I just think due to his health issues and everything that he wasn't able to make it reach its full potential, and I don't think WWE allowed it to reach its full potential either.
Because he lost a lot of matches as the Fiend.
Yeah, and
I wasn't watching. I don't know
he-
anything about
he
the Fiend.
didn't have a lot of good matches as the Fiend either,
Yeah.
but that could have been health related.
Too,
Yeah,
but
there's
he
a lot
was-
of stories still
Yep.
need to be
Yeah, there's.
addressed about
I don't think the
whole
booking.
situation.
was-
But I'm hoping that Bo Dallas and Alexa Bliss is about to come back and
I think-
be able to.
I think they're adding more to that.
Legacy.
Yeah, I agree. I
Is
mean,
Uncle Howdy Bo Dallas?
I think so.
I just heard,
think
did y'all hear the
that-
rumor the other day about Eric Rowan?
Eric
Yep.
Rowan has cut off all his indie appearances
Yeah, I
due
seen
to
that.
contract
Yeah.
obligations. So I'm thinking he's re-signed with WWE.
Yeah.
Oh, fire!
And then I think
Strowman should be
Strowman will be
close.
back with Strowman's close to coming back.
That's
And there's-
All this sounds good to me. I just don't really know where it can go, personally.
Without
I'm,
They're
cu-
gonna
I'm,
get
it's
squashed by
got me
Solo.
interested.
Yeah.
It's got me.
Solo squash himself. All he does is frown all the time.
You're not.
No.
You're not The Rock. You're not Roman Reigns. You're not even the Usos.
I wish they would have let Tama come in and run this side. That would have been. It'd be like let Tama be like, hey,
The dude that come in there and busted open.
That's Tama.
He's a bad son of a bitch.
yeah, he's been
bad
he's been
boy.
around for a long time. He's
How's he related to
he's Haku's son, correct?
Yes.
Oh God! Well,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
that's all you need to know. Let him go to the top, dude.
Exactly.
He's been in New Japan and Ring of Honor
Yep.
pretty much his whole
Yep.
career.
Yes.
New
He
Japan.
was like a
pretty much-
creative wrestler when he came out there.
Yeah,
Like,
dude,
he's like
he's-
12 abs, dude.
Yeah,
Seriously.
when you're the son of Haku, you're a bad.
Yeah, you
you're
had
out
no-
of
you
it.
He's
just
ripping
have no
people's eyeballs
choice.
out on a Sunday afternoon.
biting noses off. But yeah, Tama's a bad dude.
Yeah.
He's legit legit a bad dude.
He's
And
no Alex Wright, but
that's wonderkin. I think this turned out into a good episode though.
No, I think
For
so
failed
too, man.
gimmicks.
You got any other ones?
save him for another day.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, we can always come back.
good
to
thing
this
about
one.
these that we've been filming lately, bro, we can come back and revisit these anytime we want.
Yeah, there's so many
There's
wrestlers
a
out there.
plethora of never
Word of the
ending
day.
of never ending shit turd gimmicks and storylines. But we appreciate y'all, man. Episode 60, the Brick of Sha Ferguson. The Brick of Sha Ferguson. I just had a stroke.
He's got it.
Pee-wee
Shout out Pee Wee Chat Arms.
Shout out PW Chatty. Yeah, man, y'all hit the subscribe button, man. We're over 600 subscribers. We're on the way to 700, man. Y'all keep us going. And we'll see y'all again next week, man. Over the top, baby.
We out this motherfucker.
Pow.